If you, I was editing the highlights together up in the press box, and as I put these plays back to back to back, they looked completely identical. And so it was basically kind of like a deja vu whenever you were watching the highlight reel. It was the same play. Not once, not twice. It worked for a third time. It was able to put up the Lufkin Panthers by a score of 21-0. They ended up going into the half 28-0. And then, of course, like I said, that carried on into the second half of the football game. And Lufkin goes on to win week 2 for the second week in a row, this time over the Nacogdoches Dragons. So, you know, NAC is coming out struggling a little bit, but Lufkin, wow, they are steamrolling. They're on fire. We'll see what they can do, Michael, coming up in week 3.
Well, you know, last week, big plays they used to demolish Tyler Legacy, especially with their passing game. And it looks like this is a team that's going to make their living off of big plays until someone says, stop our passing game. Would you say that's the case? Because I saw a bunch of big plays tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, the good thing is you know, their stud running back, KTRE Young, you know, he didn't really have an explosive play in the first half. Kept waiting to see him bust through the crowd and make his usual 55-yard TD run. Well, we weren't seeing that. So obviously the Nacogdoches Dragons defense had really focused on him and then kind of fell asleep when it came to the receivers. And that's where Lufkin was able to capitalize, and they were able to go to the receivers. So if the running game with KTRE Young is not working, oh man, they got the receivers to turn to. So it's always great to have, you know, both of those tools, you know, at your hand and at your feet, and especially when one's not working and the other is, fantastic. Then of course when they're both working, oh man,
well, before I let
you've got one great team that's going to go deep in the playoffs.
Okay, I was going to say, because before I let you go, and you're around the folks of Lufkin, how thrilled are they? What kind of sense of energy when they saw their team in a position to pull away do the folks possess?
You know, yet at the same time, I can tell you right now, Michael, that these fans are not about to get cocky over, you know, 2 big wins going into the first 2 weeks of the season. Because you may recall, last season started off very hot. We had them up high on our top 10 list. As a matter of fact, when Longview came over to Abe Martin Stadium to play the Lufkin Panthers, when both teams were extremely hot at that time early in the season, that was our game of the week. And you expected these, you know, we picked these games of the week because we expect to see a real battle. But as it turned out last season, Longview just, you know, just completely destroyed Lufkin in our game of the week last year. And then ever since that big loss to Longview, things just kind of went downhill for Lufkin, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So fans aren't about to get cocky right now because they don't want to see a repeat of last year where they start off really hot and then just fizzle out. But right now, they're certainly going to enjoy, they're going to ride the wave out as long as it lasts, and hopefully that wave will take them, boom, right into the playoffs.
Well, it's a whole lot better being 2-0 rather than 0-2. Thanks a lot, Mark Bounds.